Our world rushes into the abyss with such stunning speed that there seems to be little that we can do except stand open-mouthed in shock. To even attempt to warn the thundering herd of their insanity is to risk bodily harm and even death. If you stand in the way, you will certainly be trampled. And it seems to have everything to do with an observation by David Dunning and Dunning-Kruger. The truly incompetent think that they are capable. The truly capable worry that they are incompetent. You see this everywhere, and it is utterly amazing, a defect in our nature. I think that I can speak for all of you when I say that we've been fighting insanity for all of our lives. The battle usually starts with our own insanity. Parents, church, and education were supposed to help us along the way towards sanity. But the best that we've been able to do is get close. If you have actually attained that painful condition that we like to think of as sane, you have my sympathy. It means that you get to keep your head while watching everyone lose theirs, and it's utterly depressing. As I look around me, it seems that very few have enough brain cells working to actually understand what is happening. In fact, meeting someone with any understanding is so rare that I suffer a bit of shock. The desire to put that person under a microscope and discover how they achieved this moment of clarity is almost overwhelming. In fact, I've had to get a firm grip on myself more than once when talking to someone who actually gets it. It's a good thing that I don't have a heart condition, or I might have died from shock years ago. It is far more common for Mrs. Little to ask me to calm down and stop attempting to strangle a person for being completely insane. More than one person probably owes their continued existence to the intervention of my lovely wife. And every time I feel the urge to throttle someone, I often find myself mystified by their horrifying stupidity. And it gives me a little comfort, but just a little, to know that there's a name for their affliction: the Dunning-Kruger effect. Here are a couple of interesting videos on the subject. The first one is the Dunning-Kruger effect and why you're dumber than you think. And then, why incompetent people think they're amazing, from David Dunning. Oh, and there's this far more concise and famous explanation from John Cleese. It's titled John Cleese on Stupidity, the Dunning-Kruger Effect. Unfortunately for Mr. Cleese, his last comment was proof of what we're talking about. So, how do you know that you suffer from this affliction? I guarantee that you do. I certainly do. I am completely confident that I suffer this condition alongside you. I just don't always know where I suffer it the most. To put it more succinctly, I'm smart enough to know that I'm stupid. I like what Ralph Barbagallo said on the subject in his short article titled How to Know If You Are Suffering from Dunning-Kruger. The first two paragraphs are these, quote, "The Dunning-Kruger effect is a plague that strangles the progress of humanity. It is the fact that those who suck overestimate their ability, while those who don't underestimate their ability. Dunning-Kruger is what keeps money flowing to the confident and inept, only for these funds to be set ablaze in a bonfire of incompetence. Once the fire is out, a new flame burns as the cycle repeats. Those who possess true skill often do not have the self-confidence to start their own fire. Perhaps this is why we don't have our flying car." Close quote. In that article, Ralph is speaking from a business point of view, but you can apply it everywhere. But Mr. Barbagallo added something else to this idea, an added dimension. It's in this statement: Dunning-Kruger is what keeps money flowing to the confident and inept. Yes, that's the one. It's that exceptional aura of confidence and capability that so many foolish and moronic business people exude. And that shining confidence draws the unwary like moths to a flame. The same goes for politicians. They are the ultimate examples. Think of all the morons who have stood in front of a microphone and confidently proclaimed their ability to fix all the world's problems if you just elect them on election day. And inspired by their self-confidence and grandiose dreams, we elected them only to be disappointed in their extreme stupidity and corruption. And then we do it again and again. What we need to do is elect people who are smart and don't know if they can fix our problems, but will give an honest effort to do their best. But we aren't inspired by such timidity. We like confident, masculine people that inspire us with their vision of a fantastic future. If you need an example, think of that Green New Deal that Occasional Cortex presented to us recently. Then there's Al Gore and his global warming. Obama promised that if we liked our doctor, we could keep our doctor. Theresa May claimed that she could make a good deal with the European Union over Brexit. Merkel promised that more immigrants would solve the pension crisis. Oh, and flat earthers still say that the earth is flat. Thankfully, we don't elect them to Congress. Or no, wait, maybe we do. Anyway, when I first stumbled across the flat earth insanity, I didn't know about the Dunning-Kruger effect, so I just called it the flat earth mentality. My most recent article on the subject comes from last year, the flat earth mentality. And even though I do talk about those who are flat earthers, that's not the main subject. I'm talking about the kind of thinking that brings us to believing in such crazy ideas like the flat earth. Now, why do we keep creating such insane ideas? It's part of what Ralph said about the money flowing to the confident and inept. We are drawn to those who speak with confidence, even if these people don't know what they are talking about. And they are confident because these foolish leaders do not know that they are inept. Please understand that these morons are convincing precisely because they believe in what they are saying. They believe that they are correct. Occasional Cortex really does believe in her Green New Deal. Bernie Sanders really does believe that socialism works. Flat earthers really do believe that the earth is flat. All of those people are honest in their convictions, and we hear their honesty. And if we are foolish enough, we'll respond positively to that honesty and conviction and give them our votes and/or our money. We will believe them. Worse, the internet has given far too many people a platform to speak from, where they can sway the ignorant and foolish. And it's killing us. The challenge is in escaping this affliction, in avoiding the pitfall of assuming that we are more competent than we really are. And part of the secret lies in the first of the last 3 sentences in that article by Ralph Barbagallo. Quote, "I like to say that I'm just smart enough to know that I'm a complete idiot. But when it comes to Dunning-Kruger, it's not enough to be humble. You could be faking it." Oops. He talked about that horrible word humility. And yes, we absolutely need it if we are to survive the coming months and years. But unfortunately, some people are good at faking humility, even to themselves. Of course, Ralph is talking about business. And I'm more interested in your ability to navigate the uncertain future of these last days. And that requires more than just knowledge that you are a complete idiot. In spiritual things, you must confine yourself to what the Bible actually says, and not what you think it says, or even what someone told you that it says. Please understand that Jesus called us sheep. And it wasn't out of admiration for our intelligence. God knows that we're stupid. But he did say this, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." John 10:27. As the world falls apart around us, as countless numbers of foolish people chase after insanity, we must devote ourselves to hearing his voice and following him. He is our safety in the midst of madness.